7. Brutally honest reasons men cheat. 1. The fracture. There is a silence after betrayal. Not peaceful silence. Not healing silence. The kind that screams. It fills the room even when no one is speaking. It presses against your chest. It hums in your ears at night. It follows you into the bathroom mirror, into the shower, into the bed that suddenly feels unfamiliar. You sit there, heart racing, breath shallow, reality shattered. The man you trusted cheated. And in a single revelation, your nervous system turns against you. Your thoughts spiral. Your body trembles. You replay conversations. You reread old messages. You scan memories like evidence at a crime scene. And suddenly, everything feels staged. Every memory. Every promise, every I love you. You start questioning moments that once felt sacred. Was he lying then? Was he pretending? Did he ever mean it? The past becomes unstable. The future disappears. Even the present feels distorted, like you're standing inside a life that no longer fits. This isn't just heartbreak. Heartbreak is painful, yes. But heartbreak still assumes the story was real. Betrayal is different. Betrayal attacks reality itself. It makes you doubt your perception, your intuition, your judgment. It makes you ask the most dangerous question of all. How did I not see this? This is psychological rupture. Something inside you tears. Not just trust in him, but trust in your own ability to feel safe. The ground beneath your identity shifts. Because when we love, we don't just love casually. We attach. We integrate. We build futures in our imagination. We wrap our nervous system around another human being. And when that bond is violated, it doesn't just hurt emotionally. It shocks the psyche. Carl Jung once wrote that most relationships are not between two whole people, but between two unfinished psyches, two histories, two childhoods, two sets of wounds, two shadows meeting in the dark. We don't just fall in love with a person. We fall in love with who we think they are, with the version of them they present, with the safety they symbolize, and often without realizing it. We fall in love with the parts of ourselves that awaken around them. So when betrayal happens, it feels like annihilation, because the image shatters. And cheating? It's rarely just lust. That's the surface explanation. The convenient one. The one people use to simplify something that is deeply complex. But infidelity is often a symptom, a fracture in the soul, a split between who someone believes they are and who they actually are underneath the mask. It is often a fracture in the soul. 2. The illusion of the good man, the persona. Most men don't enter relationships planning to cheat. They wear the mask well. Loyal, responsible, dependable. Jung called this mask the persona, the face we show the world to survive it. But here's the danger. When a man lives too long behind a mask, he forgets who he really is. Desire? Buried. Insecurity? Suppressed. Anger? Repressed. And what you repress eventually rebels. Cheating for some men is not rebellion against you. It's rebellion against the role he trapped himself in. He wasn't just betraying you. He was collapsing under the weight of pretending.
3. The shadow he never faced. Jung warned, what we refuse to confront becomes our shadow. Carl Jung believed the shadow is not evil by nature. It is simply the parts of ourselves we were taught were unacceptable, the anger we were shamed for, the weakness we were punished for, the desire we were told to suppress. For many men, that shadow is unprocessed masculinity. From boyhood, the instructions are confusing. Be strong, but not too strong. Be dominant, but not aggressive. Be emotional, but not soft. Lead, but don't intimidate. Provide, but never struggle. So he learns to edit himself. He trims away vulnerability. He buries insecurity. He hides tenderness. He armors over fear. And over time, he splits. There's the man the world sees. Controlled. Capable. Composed. And then there is the hidden self. Uncertain. Craving validation. Hungry to feel powerful and alive. When the split grows wide enough, something leaks. Sometimes that leak is anger. Sometimes it's withdrawal. Sometimes it's addiction. And sometimes it's infidelity. Not always because he wanted another woman, but because he wanted to feel powerful, alive, chosen, desired. For a moment, in the gaze of someone new, he feels amplified, reflected back as exciting, strong, wanted. The parts of him that felt dull or invisible suddenly feel electric. Cheating becomes counterfeit vitality, a temporary injection of significance, a tragic attempt to feel like a man, not through integrity, but through intensity. 4. He fell in love with a projection. Every man carries an image of the perfect woman inside his psyche. Jung called her the anima, the inner feminine image shaped by his mother, his early attachments, his fantasies, his unmet emotional needs. When he meets you, he may not initially see you. He sees the fantasy. You become the savior, the muse, the dream, the one who will finally understand him without effort, the one who will soothe the chaos he doesn't know how to face. In the beginning, this projection feels magical. He idealizes you. He elevates you. He may even worship you. But projections are fragile. Real life interrupts fantasy. Dishes pile up. Arguments happen. Stress enters. You have moods. You have needs. You have limits. You become human. And if he never matured emotionally, if he never learned to love reality instead of illusion, he will chase a new projection. Not because you weren't enough, but because reality threatened the illusion he was addicted to. The new woman becomes a blank canvas again, untested, unchallenging, uncomplicated, until she too becomes real. And the cycle repeats. 5. Emotional illiteracy. Here's what no one says out loud. Many men cheat because they don't know how to say, I'm lost, I'm scared, I'm unhappy, I feel small, I don't feel desired, I don't know who I am anymore. They were never taught that language. They were taught performance, achievement, control. So instead of speaking, they escape into distraction, into secrecy, into ego boasts, into someone else's arms. Because in that hidden space, no deep conversation is required. No vulnerability is demanded. No childhood wound needs to be exposed. Cheating is often not passion. It's panic. Panic at being seen too clearly. Panic at confronting inadequacy. Panic at emotional intimacy that feels overwhelming. And when a man does not know how to sit with discomfort, he runs from it. Sometimes, straight into betrayal.
The 6th archetype. There is another type. The man addicted to the game. Not the confused one. Not the emotionally lost one. The calculated one. The lies, the risk, the thrill of not getting caught. For him, secrecy is intoxicating. Duality excites him. Living 2 lives makes him feel elevated, sharper than everyone else in the room. He studies reactions carefully. He rehearses stories before telling them. He deletes messages without hesitation. He times his responses so nothing overlaps. He anticipates suspicion before it forms. He doesn't just cheat physically, he cheats psychologically. He enjoys the architecture of deception, the control, the illusion of mastery, the feeling that he is orchestrating reality while everyone else is reacting to it. Carl Jung described this archetypal energy as the trickster. The trickster is charming, quick, adaptable. He bends rules. He plays both sides. He thrives in gray areas. He convinces himself he's smarter than consequence, more evolved than morality, too complex to be confined by ordinary standards. He cheats not because he's empty, but because deception makes him feel powerful. There is a rush in getting away with something forbidden, a surge of superiority in believing he controls the narrative. When suspicion arises and he talks his way out of it, the adrenaline intensifies. When you trust him again, he feels validated in his cleverness. In his mind, he isn't betraying, he's mastering the game. He tells himself it's harmless, temporary, manageable. He compartmentalizes. This doesn't mean anything. I still love her. I can handle this. But here's the truth no trickster escapes. The trickster always sabotages himself. Every lie fractures integrity. Every secret splits identity. Every double life divides the soul. At first, he feels invincible, untouchable, in control. But slowly, something sacred erodes inside him, the ability to be fully known, fully trusted, fully authentic. Because authenticity requires unity, and he is divided. He must constantly monitor himself, adjust stories, guard devices, edit emotions. And the longer he lives this way, the more exhausting it becomes. The thrill fades, the paranoia grows. The very intelligence he weaponized against others begins turning against him. And eventually, he doesn't even know who he is anymore. He becomes the mask, the performance, the manipulation. And without realizing it, he loses access to something deeper, his own wholeness. The 7th truth. He wasn't cheating on you. He was escaping himself. Escaping the parts of him that felt inadequate. Escaping the vulnerability intimacy requires.
escaping the mirror that reflected who he truly was. Real intimacy demands exposure. It demands accountability. It demands that a man confront his fears, his limitations, his insecurities. If he has never developed the courage to do that, closeness will feel threatening. So he runs. Not always because you were lacking, but because being fully seen felt unbearable. That doesn't reduce your pain. Betrayal still cuts. Trust still shatters. The nervous system still goes into shock. Your body reacts as if safety has been ripped away. Because in many ways it has. But this truth frees you from false guilt. Because his betrayal was not proof that you were lacking. It was proof that he was fragmented. And fragmented men destroy what they cannot integrate. When someone has not reconciled their shadow, their fear, their insecurity, their need for validation, they will attack the very intimacy that exposes it. Not because you were too much, but because your presence demanded growth. And growth requires humility. Now here's the real question. What do you do with this truth? You stop asking, what was wrong with me? Was I not attractive enough? Did I miss something? Should I have done more? And you start asking, what was he running from? What part of himself was he too afraid to face? What truth did my presence force him to confront? You stop shrinking for someone afraid of depth. You stop softening your standards to accommodate someone's immaturity. You stop explaining away red flags because you wanted the story to work. You stop trying to save someone who wouldn't confront himself. Because you cannot heal a man who benefits from remaining broken. You cannot outlove someone who is addicted to escape. And you remember, betrayal is not a verdict on your worth. It is a mirror reflecting his unfinished work. His fragmentation is not your failure. His avoidance is not your inadequacy. His deception is not your deficiency. Closing. If this resonated with you, it's not by accident. Sometimes we hear truth when we're finally strong enough to handle it. Some betrayals don't come to destroy you. They come to awaken you, to break illusions, to sharpen discernment, to strengthen boundaries, to return you to yourself. Pain can either shrink you or refine you. Let this refine you. Comment your location below. Let me know where you're watching from. And remember this, you were never too much. He was just not ready to become enough.
If this video resonated with you and gave you clarity about emotional infidelity, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced something like this? Your story could help someone else see the signs before it's too late. Give this video a like if it helped you understand the subtle ways trust can be broken. Every like supports this channel and helps us reach more people who need guidance. And make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video on building healthier relationships and protecting your emotional well-being. If you know someone who might benefit from this insight, share this video with them. Sometimes awareness is the first step to saving a relationship or protecting your heart. Remember, you deserve to be seen, valued, and prioritized in your relationship. Don't settle for anything less.